Hello and welcome! I am that James guy, and today we're starting a new series. It's been a while, but we're back, and this is going to be a series of multiplayer guides for sort of competitive and semi-competitive Hearts of Iron 4, with the latest version, of course. The first nation up is, of course, Germany, and we are going to be going through all of the essential things that you need to know to play Germany, basically as well as you can to the meta in Hearts of Iron 4. It will be a fairly structured route through, but there is going to be a written guide as well, which you can see linked down in the description on Reddit. And also, if you do want to see it, I can also upload it onto Steam as well as a Steam guide. So if you do want to see that on there, please let me know in the comments. We are going to be following a fairly structured route, as I said. We're going to be first looking at focus order, then PP spends, then we'll be looking at production, construction, and technology, followed by some division design tips and some other bits as well at the end in a sort of MISC section. If you do have any questions or queries, let me know on either Discord or in the comments, and I will endeavour to answer all of them. I won't be going through micro-intensive stuff, though I will be doing another video about some tips and tricks for micro, general grinding, and other bits like that as well, to sort of work alongside it, which should help a lot of you and a lot of my regulars in my multiplayer games that I host improve as well. So, let's jump in. Part 1, focus order. So, Germany has a relatively modest focus tree. I'm going to be ignoring all of the ahistorical stuff. This is very much a historical guide for historical multiplayer. So, lots of rule sets. First of all, limit your first focus. I know in my multiplayer game you have to take the Rhineland as your first focus. Lots of other games do that as well to prevent you from keeping world tension down and some other stuff. So, for all intents and purposes, Rhineland does have to be your first focus. Et voila. From there, the route is fairly simple. You bang in Rhineland, then you mosey over to Army Innovations, down to Treaty with the USSR for your tank treaty, for your treaty research, and to get your bonuses on the tanks. You're only really taking this one because you need the tank research. Then, from there, it's over to your industry. You have to boom that industry as fast as possible as Germany. So, Rhineland, Innovations, Tank Treaty, into the 4-year plan. Then, the next highest priority are the free factories. So, from there, it's Autarky, Hermann Goering work, and KDF Wagen, and the extra research slot, so that you can really get your tech rush going, get your industry booming, and some other bits. Once you've done those, Autobahn is a perfect fit. It is really, really useful, and you can save the states that will upgrade to max infrastructure to build in later on, and I will touch on that again in the construction section. But that is a good, solid next pick. From there, you start now having some options. You can go and grab a... I'm not even going to pronounce it or try, but you can grab the infrastructure construction speed one, because you are going to want to get into great war economies eventually. Or you can pick up air innovations, which you will equally also want to get eventually, but you can slot one or both of those in at this point. Then you want to go ahead and do Anschluss. And basically, once you hit Anschluss, once you decide to press go on Anschluss, that's when you just want to be going for it. So I like to do Rhineland, Army Innovations, Tank Treaty, 4-year plan, Autarky, down to the research slot, then pick up Autobahn, the infrastructure speed boost, then Anschluss. This will now be around December of 1937. You pick up Anschluss, you bang Demand Sudetenland. Hopefully, you will be able to bypass First Vienna Award. You will be able to do that if Hungary has done the Demand Southern Slovakia focus. Then you can take Fate of Czechoslovakia for even more free factories. Now, at this point, you're 210 days away before you want to go to war. And that 210 days is reassert Eastern claims, Danzig or war, and the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact focus, 7-14-21. I like to do reassert Eastern claims, then Molotov, then Danzig or war, as it prevents Russia from accidentally memeing you and getting Memel. If you do it the other way around, they can quite easily meme Memel before you've got it through the reassert Eastern claims focus. So you want to do reassert Eastern claims first. Once you've hit Danzig or war and you're actually doing your World War II, that's when things lighten up a little bit and you get more options, really. At this point, air innovations is useful. While you're killing Poland, you can finish up air innovations to get the air bases, which is really, really helpful. Army innovations 2 is again really, really useful. Depending on what tank build you're doing, you want it to be completed when you finish medium 2 if you're doing a medium tank build, so you get medium tank 3s quickly or mech 1 early. You can put it anywhere, but it should definitely be done at some point. And the other high priority one is integrate war economy, which you want to do the moment both Romania and Hungary are in the Axis. That one does depend a little bit on the rule set that you're personally playing with. In my multiplayer games, Romania and Hungary can join the Axis basically whenever they want, as long as Bessarabia has been taken. So it will be after Molotov-Ribbentrop. But then you integrate them, you want all the free factories for that. Coal liquidization and synthetic rubber need to be done as a high priority. However, you need to leave them as late as you can feasibly do it and get away with it, so that you can use this big research bonus on a later tech. Then looking at the only other stuff you've got really that is important focuses, West Wall into Atlantic Wall. You only want to take West Wall before World War II, and it is worth delaying the war by 70 days if France looks scary and you're not wholly confident and they've done a very strong build. Then you do want to look into doing West Wall ready to go. After that, you want to do Atlantic Wall once France is dead, and you also want to do reintegrate Alsace-Lorraine. Also, obviously, around the Maginot and War with France. War with France will be bypassed. Around the Maginot, you obviously want to do probably immediately after Danzig or War. And then that's pretty much your focus order. There are no real other focuses you need to take. If you want to do some memes, you can do the naval rearmament stuff, but more than likely, it's onto your continuous focuses at that point, or just banking the political power. Which brings us very neatly on to your actual PP spends. So, let's look at that. Now, Germany is in a very fortunate position. You get quite a lot of PP from your dictator, Monsieur Hitler. He gives you that bonus PP gain, which does devalue the silent workhorse. Typically, they're not worth getting as Germany because of how strong Hitler is with his political power gain. So, my preferred PP spend is free trade straight away. You always want to take free trade. The construction speed, research speed, and output bonuses you get are huge. It's a 9% research speed bonus, 10% on output, and 10% on construction speed. That is absolutely huge. Then after that, you want to bank 100. Make sure you've got 100 PP in the bank ready for your attaché to Spain, and 150 in the bank ready for your flip up to war economy. The attaché to Spain, plus the Spanish War and the world tension resulting from it, means you've got war economy. So you bank up to the 150 plus the 150, the 250 power you need. It's 100 for an attaché, not 150. I don't know what I'm talking about. But you want to jump up with the power you've banked. So 250 for the day the Spanish Civil War starts. So you can fire that up. Then your next most important spend is Hjalmar Schacht. Wherever he's gone, there he is, Captain of Industry, because you're going to be booming civs for quite a while. After Hjalmar's Shacht, you have a couple of options now. Now it starts to bypass a little bit. You're going to want to take the Spy Master at some point, Canaris. You're going to need to take your Heavy Tank Designer, Porge, which you want to take before Heavy Tank 2 or Medium Tank 2/1 Research. You're going to want to take Mr. Funk, the Funkmeister. You're going to want to take him the day you do Sudetenland, so you want to time it so that when you're switching from Civ construction to Mill construction, you lose Shacht and you gain Funk. And before you get Fighter 2s, you're going to want Messerschmitt for the agility bonus. Then, from there, it's just your High Command and your military staff, of which you don't really have a lot of picks. You're going to want the Army Offense guy in your first option, so you're going to want Halder. For air, you're going to want Goering for the air superiority bonus. High Command slot 1, you're going to want Mr. Rommel for the armor bonus. High Command slot 2, you're going to most likely want Runstead or Schorner or both. And then slot 3, you're going to want Fritsch, Schorner or Runstead. Generally speaking, I like to take Schorner and Runstead for these two slots. Some people I've seen prefer to take Fritsch and Runstead or Fritsch and Schorner. But those three are all viable options. The other option is taking Milch for the interception bonus. If you don't have an air controller in your game and you're a bit behind on air and you're winning via interception missions, it can be quite powerful. And that's it for your PP spend and order. Like I said, downstairs, down below, there is a written guide as well that I've written up that gives you this order so you can sort of follow it along with the explanation. But this is mostly just to help you through it and give some of my thoughts as we go. So the next thing we are going to look at, research. Now, first up, we're going to look at the first major choice that you're going to have as Germany. Do you do concentrated or do you do dispersed? Now, when writing this and thinking about it, I had quite an in-depth discussion with one of the regulars in my multiplayer games, and we came to the conclusion that 8 out of 10 times, dispersed is going to be better. There are always the odd game where concentrated will be better, but for all intents and purposes, you're going to want to go dispersed. And that's because of the production efficiency, retention, base, so on. Dispersed generally outperforms concentrated the earlier the war starts, the quicker the war is over. If you end up in a long game, concentrated overtakes it, but more often than not, if you're in a long game, you're on a losing route anyway. Now, the next thing we'll look at is the other major decision you have, which is land doctrine. Personally, superior firepower, left branch, no, ignore everything I just said. Superior firepower, right branch, left branch is the superior option. It's superior firepower, that's the one you want to do. Sorry for mumbling my words there, I was thinking I knew I wanted air-land battle, which was left. You want right-left as superior firepower. The other option is going mobile warfare left-right, which makes your tank divisions very orc heavy and can work that way as well. Gives you a few more tanks because of the orc you gain from your motorized. Personally, I prefer the stats you gain from superior firepower. There's a bit more skill cap required in using tank divisions with superior firepower compared to mobile warfare. However, I do think on balance it's superior. You also have the option of medium or heavy tanks. My preference is heavy tanks. And really, I'm running these in the order of priority. You want to be researching things as well. So, realistically, you're going to want to take, as your opening techs, these three, your mechanical engineering, and then you're going to want to take your switch to superior firepower. Then from here, you want to make sure that you're at this point, when you get your 4-year plan, at least researching, so you can use your 2 bonuses to grab 39 and 41 tools. You want to make sure you're ahead of time in construction and industry tech. You're going to want to make sure you're always pushing your tank tech using your research bonuses. You're going to want to be making sure that you're pushing your mechanized tech and keeping your infantry tech up and running as well. And you're going to be wanting to make sure that you're getting AA tech for SPAA if the allies are going CAS heavy. If they're not, you don't need to worry about it too much. Radar is very important as well, as is the research speed bonuses. For your air doctrine, if there is an air controller, then it doesn't matter so much. If there is not an air controller, you're going to want multi-altitude flying, and you're going to want to go strategic destruction. I was about to call it superior destruction. It is superior, but it's not that superior. Then the last industry researches you're going to want to do are the rubber processing ones. Synthetic refineries are great, but fuel from them is kind of inefficient. You want to just focus on the rubber, and then fuel refining via Romania. So that's tech, tech, industry tech, that's army tech, that's doctrines, that's all your tech sorted, that's your focus order sorted, that's your PP sorted. We're going to touch on your best construction order. You want to be building civs until you do the Sudetenland focus, which should be in 1938 roughly, and you're going to want to prioritize building them in your highest infrastructure states, which do not get impacted by the focus to give you the 100% infrastructure bonus. So you're sort of happy just building your civilian industry up in the 80 and 70 percentiles. Then as soon as you get that 100% bonus, you switch your production up into those ones. And that's pretty much it. Once you're done with your civ industry in 1938, you go straight on to booming with the mills, and then from there, you go and mix in the odd synth factory as well. Maybe not just the odd one. You mix in synthetic refineries to make sure that you're exporting rubber, and that you aren't reliant on rubber trade. And that's pretty much it for the build-up phase, to be honest with you. So the only other thing to look at is your division design. And Germany is really, really easy when it comes to division design. There's only 2 divisions you're going to need to make. Division numero uno is, and I am going to just fire up some XP commands just to create it. You're going to want your 20 width shovel infantry division. Et voila, this is it. This is all you're going to want. Shovel. And you can throw in the support AA or a recon, but honestly, just shovel and artillery, that's pretty much it. And you're going to want your tank division. Let me just sort out some tech very quickly. Research on icon, click. This is a very useful command, by the way, if you want to test some division designs or just have a look at things. So you're going to want your heavy tank, and you're going to, that's pretty much it that we're going to need, just to show off the division template. You're going to want your tanks to be 40 widths. So the best option as superior firepower is not with a light tank in the middle of your heavy tank formation. It's with heavy tanks down here, more heavy tanks, all of the heavy tanks, and then 2 rows of motorized up to 40 width, which should put me at around 30 org exactly, which is about the ballpark figure. We're at 27.8. If we just save that, and I just show off my, once we get our land doctrine going, because this is the point you will be at when you declare war, roughly about here. Puts my tank at 30 org. If you want, you can go 1 heavier on motorized and drop a tank. Something like that if you want a little bit more org. Superior firepower tank divisions have better stats, lower org. You're in danger of being right-clicked and just deleted off the map. Once you start with motorized, you want to convert up into getting mechs. We will just steal like so. That's armor, James. There we go. Mechanized. And you want to be mechanized as well. There we go. Great stats on your tank. Lots of breakthrough, lots of soft and hard attack. They will hit like trucks. They are in danger of being pushed back with orcs, so you really do need to be careful with your pushing. And that's it for divisions. 2 divisions, tank and infantry. It's all you need. All of your remaining land XP should be spent on upgrading your tank variant. And really, it's a priority order here. You do gun first, reliability up to 100%, which coincidentally is 5/5, and then that is pretty much it. That's all you're going to want. And it's the same when you're making variants for your planes. Your plane variants are very, very simple as well. You're going to want engine 5, then you're going to want to do range 5, and that is pretty much it. If you have more air XP ticking along, you can fix the reliability issue. But engine, range, reliability in that priority order. And then that's pretty much it for Germany. From then on out, it's just down to your micro. That build order will see you have enough factories to maintain hefty amounts of tank production. It will see you have enough technology to maintain air superiority. Remember, your Romania will be rushing Fighter 2, so remember, you do need to license your Fighter 2 to get the research going on that, and to get that as early as possible as well. I did neglect to mention that earlier, but concentrate your air tech on the fighters. Make sure you get your Fighter 2 and your Fighter 3 as quickly as you can through working with your Hungary and Romania players. And then it's just down to your tank micro. Germany is all about your ability to use your resources. Your resources are your tank divisions. Your infantry should never be attacking. Your tanks are your attacking divisions, and that is pretty much it. I don't think there's anything I've missed off this quick how-to guide. Short, sweet, simple, step-by-step, with a written component. What more could you ask for? I'll tell you what more you could ask for. We forgot to look at production. Now, we'll ignore ships. Germany doesn't win the war based on ships, it wins its war on land. And honestly, the best way to go, 10 factories on guns at the start, 3 on artillery and support equipment. Drop your light tanks, they're completely worthless. Throw 3 or 4 on artillery. Drop your Fighter 1, leave it on 1 factory, just to make sure you've got the efficiency. But as soon as you get the Fighter 2 license, you convert that over. You can leave 1 to 2 on close air support, and then throw the remaining 5 on TAC bombers. Don't worry too much about having a gun or artillery deficit en route into the war with Poland. You shouldn't have one. You only need 4 armies of infantry anyway. That's what you should be aiming for. But you do get about 30,000 guns from Poland, so don't worry too much if you're on a slight deficit. And then going forward, as you start booming mills, you're going to want to put about 30 to 40% in planes and about 50% into tanks, and the remaining stay on infantry equipment. Once you've sorted your army out, realistically, these should all be dropped down, and everything should be on either planes and your tanks. So by the time war starts, you're going to have about 40 tanks factories, about 40 plane factories, going up to even more, something like this, 70-40, that sort of split. You're going to want to be matching the British plane production, or about 40% of your factories, whichever is higher, to maintain that equilibrium and that advantage. Now, if there is anything I've missed, or anything else you'd like to say about this video, please let me know in the comments downstairs. There will be questions available on Discord. I'll be keeping an eye on the Reddit post where the written guide is as well. So any questions, queries, or otherwise, please do let me know. And if you have enjoyed this, please do like and subscribe. I play a lot of Hearts of Iron 4 on Twitch, including multiplayer. and we'll be back very soon with another guide. Short, sweet, and simple. That's what we like, and that guide will be on the Soviet Union. Thank you, folks. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys again later. Bye for now.